We had our first run yesterday. I'm now up in the booth, going through all the notes that I took yesterday because we hadn't necessarily even run all the scenes yet. We just kind of put together the whole first act and slammed through it. That was fun. I was thinking I'd explain how I'm mixing the show. We have 25 wireless mics patched through 22 speakers, like 22 possible outputs because it's a very large set. So in order for things to make sense as far as, actor here, look here, we couldn't just do your standard 1-2 mix of, left, right speakers. Left would have to cover like about 150 meters of space, and then right would have to cover another 150 meters. Even if you had a center, it would just be ridiculous. So the way that we do it is we have 22 outputs, and we use those to draw the attention for the action. Here's a good one. 14A, Jesus heals a man born blind. So instead of being able to just simply, here's my actor on mic 21, and this is where he's going to live forever, which is how you would mix most shows. I have it all so that each individual fader coincides with a position of the actor on stage. So if that actor moves at any point, I have to follow them along. So say actor starts here, and then they're going to walk along delivering dialogue the entire way. I have to follow them and fade in between each one until they arrive at their destination. Ooh, a really good example of that. There it is. Yeah, okay, so here I have two actors. Jesus on the first one, Andrew on the second one. In this scene, they cross basically the entire set. This is the first time in the play where you really get to see, or really get an idea for how the sound's able to travel in the space. They have dialogue pretty much right across the floor. So as they walk from stage left to stage right, I follow them. And because it would be a really big pain in the butt to have to, chase them this way, I've just linked the two channels because they're right side by side, and I just walk them along. And so as they go, I don't know if you can see this, but the faders move together like I'm touching this one, and that guy's chasing. Fun! Digital boards are exciting. The LS9 only has 16 mix settings. We have it going ADAT out to an RME rack. RME has 32 outputs, which is great. Essentially I only have 16 aux mixes. So the way that I use that is, say, for any given scene, I need to be using, speakers, 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 22, and 23. I don't know, anything that's beyond like just a standard 16. I then have to go in and repatch, so that now, as opposed to when I go to say mix 15, when I bring that up, it's not going to speaker 15 anymore, it's going to something way off in the hills, which gets complicated. So it requires a lot of note taking and a lot of communication too, because I'm not the only one going through this board. We also have our playback, which is our, there's a lot of singing and music backtracks to this show, because it's all done in the outdoors, bright daylight, with 100 and something cast. We don't have lighting, there's no just blackout, reset the scene, come back on. Basically one continuous scene. There has to be a very defined, okay, well this event has ended, now there's a new theme that'll start up here with a different soundtrack, and we'll follow that, and that tells you that it's a completely different world. That's how we create the different scenes. They've created some cool things where the actors will bring out structures that'll pop into little holes we have in the ground that are designed to, take these minimalist set pieces to kind of reshape certain areas, but for the most part it's giant grassy field, hill with crosses on it, wall. For music playback, it's got to come through the board as well, because it's all going from here down the line to the amp rack in the set wall. Whenever I change an output, I have to inform my music operator that, okay, we've got to get together and figure out, okay, what output, because we're using completely different outputs generally, which outputs are available here. And for the most part, even though we have 16, it comes down to like we have 2. If I want to, say, throw reverb on a singer and have somebody over here, we can. It's going to be a good show.